Our first speaker today is Sneha Shah, coach and founder of ISRA. She is a well-known psychologist with a double major in psychology, a well-recognized coach. She has offered workshops for more than 50 companies in over 10 countries. Recently, she authored a book, which some of you may have picked up on your way in here, titled, What Shape Are You? This book attempts to decode people and personalities and speaks about discovering who you really are and how to handle everyone who isn't like you. Sneha's session today will also revolve around the same theme. May we have you on stage, Sneha?
Good morning. It's lovely to see you all wake up in the morning, get through the traffic, and be here on time. Yeah, so I'm from Mumbai, and the Delhi traffic, I know a lot of you will believe that Mumbai has a lot of traffic too, but Delhi traffic always throws me. Yeah, so it's unpredictable, but it's a beautiful city. I'm so glad to be here. And today we are going to be doing something which is called What Shape Are You? And I promise you that by the end of the 45 minutes that have been assigned to me, you're going to have a different take on people, the way you see them, whether people you work with, who have been your ex-bosses, your clients, even your spouse, your parents, every single person in your life. So I'm going to start off with a question, and I love asking this, and you need to be honest. Is that a promise? Yeah? You're still wondering whether you can be. So let me ask this question. How many people in this room do you have a difficult person in your life that you're dealing with? You don't need to say who, but a difficult person. I like that. Yeah, so raise your hand. If you have somebody sort of challenging personally and professionally in your life that you're dealing with. If you haven't put your hand up, you're lying. Yeah, because we all have difficult people in our lives. Now, let me ask you another question. You know, this is what I find interesting. Because Shashank, who's my partner at work, in life and everything wonderful, so we fight and we create together. Yeah, so he's here. Now, the interesting part is we've worked with thousands of people. So as of today, it's 50,000 people across the world, lots of companies across cultures, countries. And here's the interesting thing. People come into the workshop and I ask this question and I say, do you have a difficult person in your life? And they say yes, very enthusiastically, and raise their hand. And the person whom you're thinking of right now, imagine that if that individual was in the room today and I asked the same question, what do you think would happen? They probably think about you and raise their hand. Yeah, that I have a difficult person in my life. The question is, who really is difficult? Are you difficult? Is the other person difficult? And we are dealing with people all the time. Yeah, so let me tell you this. One psychological reality that is very important for us to figure is this. 75% of people that we know in this lifetime, that we work with in this lifetime, that we marry, that we associate, are going to be completely different from us. Yeah? Would you agree with that? You're constantly dealing with people who are different. Anybody here who has 2 kids, would you raise your hand? Can I safely say that both your kids are extremely different from each other? Yeah? Hopefully from the same parent, similar kind of environment that you're raised in, and yet so different. Anybody here who has a sibling? All of us, yeah? Is your sibling different from you? Yeah, quite different, gets triggered by different things. But you know what my contention is, that while we are taught about a lot of information when we are getting so-called educated. So we study geography and we study physics and we understand math, but unfortunately, we have absolutely no manual, no system that helps us understand people, which is one of the most important component of our life, because the quality of our life is determined by the quality of our relationships. The quality of our relationships is determined by the quality of our conversations. And conversations are extremely emotional. So we don't have any manual that helps us navigate through personal and professional relationships in our life. And trust me, as a psychologist and as a person from the learning and development space, I see that often. I write a lot on LinkedIn. And my posts that get viral are the ones who are how to deal with a toxic boss. Yeah, 6 types of difficult colleagues that you work with. So it gives me so much insight of how we struggle with people in our lives. So today what we are going to do is I'm going to give you a very quick sneak peek into what is called as shape psychology. I love this. It is actually a science, a simple but powerful system to understand people using geometric shapes. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. You may have seen different systems, but the reason I love shape psychology is that it's very quick to understand and it's going to stick with you. So what I need you to do is this. Yeah, we have about 40 minutes together. I need you to think of a person in your mind whom you have trouble dealing with. Yeah, so somebody whom you find challenging to deal with, it could be personal or professional. Think about that person. Because at the end of about 30 minutes, you will know exactly what is the person's personality shape and why they behave the way they do. And I think that's incredibly powerful. Tell me, how many of you are excited about this? Interesting, no? So it's going to give you a different perspective. So let me tell you this. That the universe of people, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown on the 5 shapes, do it very quickly, and then we will have something that we will do together as a group. So let me tell you this. You know, in our life, all the people whom we interact with can be divided into 2 circles. I want you to visualize this. So you are right at the center, hopefully, of your life. You love yourself enough to say, I'm at the center of my life. And then your first circle are the inner circle of people. People who are close to you, you relate to, you connect with, who have an impact on you, whom you get affected with when you have issues with them. They are your inner circle of people. And then you have your outer circle of people. These are your acquaintances, people whom you work with. You love having them in your world, but you don't necessarily get affected by them. So this is the universe of people that we have around us all the time. Self, inner, and outer. All of these people, so the universe of people in your life can actually be divided into 5 shapes. Here comes the interesting part. But let's start with you. There are 5 shapes on the screen. I need you to look at them and very intuitively pick the shape that you just get drawn to. Yeah, something that you get drawn to. So just look at it and pick a shape that you get drawn to. How many of you are drawn to the square? Raise your hand. The blue square. No one? Okay. How many of you are drawn to the triangle? Okay. How many of you are drawn to the circle? Interesting. I love the audience. My dominant is a circle. How many of you are drawn to the squiggle, which is the yellow? Interesting. And rectangles? Okay, so we'll see whether the shape that you have chosen actually talks about your dominant shape. So I'm going to visit this. Don't forget, yeah, the shape that you got drawn to. So the universe of people in your life, including you, can actually be divided or can be understood by using 5 geometric shapes. What these shapes mean, we are going to tell you just now. But there are 3 things that you need to remember. The first thing is that while we have, these are the 5 shapes, the box, the triangle, the rectangle, the circle, and the squiggle. And I'm going to ask you an important question, what shape are you, in just a bit. Understanding the shape requires you to understand 3 things. Number 1, we have all 5 shapes within us. I want you to imagine this. So when a baby is born, the child is born with tremendous potential to be, experience, express a lot of things. So it's like having 5 fingers. I have the potential of all the 5 fingers and all the 5 shapes within. But then starts the process of socializing. So nature and nurture comes together to form a unique personality. And then what happens is that we start using 1 or 2 shapes more dominantly than the other shapes. So that starts to emerge as a stronger one, and 1 or 2 shapes start to go into the shadow, or they become the ones that we don't least used shapes. So all of us have 1 or 2 dominant shapes within us that becomes our identity, the way we express to the world. Important thing to remember, we can be different shapes at different time. So you can be a different shape at work and different shape at home, different shape with your, probably, with your spouse as compared to the boss, so on and so forth. And lastly, here is our potential. This went ahead. We have access to all 5 shapes. That's the beauty. We don't use it, but we have access to all 5 shapes. Here's a question I'm going to ask you. Look at the square. A lot of you did not pick this, but now let's make it a little interactive. Let's kind of tap your imagination. I want you to imagine that this square or a box was a person. What do you think this person would be like? Yeah, imagine, nothing right or wrong. Imagine the box as a person. What do you think would be the traits of a box? Raise your hand. Give me whatever that comes to your mind. Yeah. Organized. Lovely. Yeah, so look at it. Very organized, put together. What else? Nothing right or wrong. Just what comes to your mind. Tell me. What would this person be like? Risk taker, not a risk taker. Balanced person, somebody who likes everything, balanced, not too many excesses of any kind. What else? Somebody else raised your hand. Imagine you have imagination. Yes. Not a risk taker. So somebody who will want all data and, will need to think things through. She knows it, yeah? So she's a cheater. She knows what a box is all about. Yeah, and a very, very dear friend. Having said that, let's talk about this. I want you to imagine it, because after this shape, I'm going to ask you whether you know of a box in life. Imagine this box now. A box person, a dominantly box person. Remember, we all have little bit of a square in us. But a dominantly square person is an extremely solid, dependable individual. What does this mean? If you tell a box that something needs to be done, the box takes it very seriously. And they will get it done, because their word is extremely important. The way a box functions in life is, they are very organized. Everything needs to be structured. Everything needs to be done in a particular process. So a box will have things in its own place. There's a process and structure for everything. We'll make sure that we'll do a lot of research before making a decision, lot of attention to details, not a risk taker. Let me give you a couple of words. Box is the one who will get the job done, no matter what. Commitment is important. Has a strong need to be organized. So my father, in fact, my father and father-in-law, so Shashank's father is a box. So the way the cupboard is organized, everything is color-coded, everything is put into files. I see you smiling, yeah? So it needs to be, the red file is for this, the blue file is for this. The way a box will study is that there are things going to be organized, timetables are going to be made, routine is going to be set, schedules will be made. They also have a lot of attention to details, which means that if you have a box boss or a client and you go to them with a proposal, the first thing is that they are going to notice a mistake. Yeah, so there is a typo error. This is not formatted correctly. This doesn't have enough research and data that's put into it. They prefer routines and procedures. Yeah, so box is not somebody who will wake up in the morning and say, okay, what shall I do today? Box knows exactly what their day is going to look like. When they wake up, what are they going to do? So Shashank's father, we travel a lot all over the world. But we know exactly what's going to happen. 9 o'clock in the morning, he's going to be at breakfast. 9:30, he's going to leave for work. 10:15, he's going to get to work and have a cup of tea. 1 o'clock is lunchtime, no matter what. Evening, 6 o'clock, you leave from work. 7 o'clock, you come, and then 7:30, go down for a walk. Have dinner at 9. 11:30 to bed. This routine goes on for a long, as much. That routine gives a lot of predictability. Also, imagine in this person's life, if somebody comes in and says, surprise, I've come today. What do you think will be your box's reaction? No, you should have told me, right? I would have planned it. And at workplace, surprise meeting, not a good idea. A box says, please put it in the schedule. I can't do it this way. Things can't be disorganized like that. Very practical and realistic. Your box is not impulsive. Box wants to buy a shirt, will go to the mall or to a shop and will buy the shirt and not 10 other things that they don't need. Very realistic. They feel emotions but will give a lot of importance to logic. Concerned about security, plan A, plan B, plan C. My father, whenever he traveled, he had a copy of his passport in his bag, in his main bag, then the bag that he took, then the handbag. We had a copy of it in case if something happened. He had an itinerary, tickets taken out and put into the right files. How many boxes here? You're smiling, or do you know of one? Yeah, I figured, everything. So chances are that your house, in the kitchen, everything is labeled and organized, and you're like, why can't you put it in its right place? Yeah, so everybody. Cautious, low-risk takers, and most structured of all the shapes. So this solid, dependable box. I want to ask you, how many of you know of a box in your life? Raise your hand. Yeah. So we all know of these boxes who are around us. Now comes, in a similar way, connected to a box, but yet a little different, comes a triangle. Look at this picture and tell me, what do you think? If a triangle was a person, what could be the traits of this person? Come on, you need to be good at this. You all are thinkers, yeah? Sharp, yes. Somebody said independent. Focused, yeah, very focused. Dynamic, lovely, you got it. You're like, you have it. Anybody else? Indecisive, yeah? Vibrant. What about risk-taking and, the way? Could be a risk-taker. Anything else? When you look at this shape, remember Egyptian pyramids, always a triangle, not a square or a hexagon or anything. What does it represent? Hierarchy. It also represents power. It represents authority. It represents ambition. Egyptian pyramids, the way a king spoke about his achievements in his life and the difference that he made was dependent on the height of the pyramid. Taller the pyramid, the more influential I have been as a king. So as compared to the box, imagine the triangle. The triangle says, I don't care how you do it, get it done. So the triangle is the ambitious one. The triangle is the goal-driven one. While the box is the one who says, do it right. There is a right way of doing everything. Just to let you know, box says, you can't do it that. You're not doing it right, so I'll do it myself. So they end up taking a lot of work because only boxes can do it right. Triangle will delegate, will make sure that things happen. They are leaders. Doesn't mean that the other shapes can't be leaders. But triangles assume leadership everywhere. So they are the ones who will take charge and direct people, whether they have been given the title or not, it doesn't matter. They assume leadership and they take charge where they go. The most ambitious of all the shapes, it's not enough. There is always more to achieve, and there is always a goal that they need to set, and they work towards that goal. They are driven and they drive other people crazy as well towards that goal. Swift decision makers. If it has to be done, I have to decide it, I'm going to go for it. I may not have enough data. Remember, boxes take time to decide because they need all information. They need to do it perfectly. They will make an Excel sheet, pros and cons, a lot of evaluation. Triangles don't have time for that. One important thing, so I have a triangle husband sitting right here, and he knows this, but he refuses to agree. Try telling triangles that you're wrong. What? Yeah, I'm wrong. Like, I'll tell you why you're wrong to think I'm wrong. Yeah, so triangles are never wrong. Triangles are terrible at taking feedback. First of all, they can't listen. They interrupt a lot. And even before you finish, they will tell you about what they are thinking. Also, triangles have tremendous need to be in control. Not in control of the process. They don't care. They need to be in control whether the outcome is being reached or not. And they can be brutal if you are not doing the things that they need you to do. They have intolerance to incompetence. I'm sure you have clients who are triangles and they are the hardest to deal with. But they are also movers and shakers. No problem with competition. Bring it on. I'm not scared of that. Flamboyant, status-oriented means what? They want the best in life. They want to dress well. They want to drive the good car. They want to have the good house. They want to travel. They want to have the best life. The reason being, they want to know that they've achieved it. They are the ones who will have the branded pen and everything else that they walk around with. You can't miss a triangle energy when they come. Well connected. They know whom to speak to, whom to connect with, whom to spend energy on. The rest of the people I don't really care about. Look at this. Typically a triangle. I've reached the moon. Okay, now what? Yeah, what next? They won't wait to even enjoy what they've achieved, but it's always move on to the next one. Try telling a triangle that something cannot be achieved. Who said penguins can't fly? We'll figure a way of making it fly. So don't come and tell me something cannot be done. It's your job. Don't come to me with problems. Give me solutions. That's your triangle. It's amazing when a boss is a box and a junior is a triangle. Immensely frustrating because the triangle is like, what the hell is happening? This is too slow. Why are we going so much into details? And we deal with this all the time. Yeah. How many of you know of a triangle in your life? Raise your hand. Okay, put it down. How many of you feel you have shades of a triangle? Look at that, all triangles sitting. And look at that one at the back. Yeah, that Amit is an absolute triangle box for anybody who doesn't know. Yeah, team, your boss, he's a triangle box. Yeah. So having said that, let's go to the one that a lot of you chose. This is my dominant one. And this is a circle. Imagine this was a person. Give me words. Impulsive? Look at the shape and what it is. Flexible, okay. What else? Nurture. Thank you for picking that up. Look at it. No hard, no pokey sides to this thing. Yeah, so. Sorry? Free-spirited may not be. There's still a kind of a boundary. We'll come to that. If you look at it, multitasker can do different things. A circle, the important point, for a box, it's about doing things right, process, ethical way, value systems. For a triangle, it's about the goal. For a circle, it's about relationships. A circle is all-encompassing, holding it together. A circle is genuinely interested in people. A circle is a nurturer. A circle is sensitive and caring and will be able to read between the lines, is the psychological glue that keeps people, teams, families together. So, you know why? A circle is one of the best communicators of all. The reason being is that they understand body language. They look at you and they'll be able to sense the mood. They'll be able to adapt naturally, depending on what's happening. Trust me, the triangle doesn't care. The box is too logical to pick up any emotional cues. But a circle gets it all. That makes them wonderful communicators. They are nurturing. They will nurture you to health. They will mentor you. They will be there for you, 4 a.m. friends. They will give parts of themselves. They'll make it available to you. Now, here is an important point. Circles value harmony, which means that they are averse to conflict. They are very uncomfortable when there is conflict and disagreement around them. So they are the ones who will quickly try to accommodate. Yeah, let's kind of smooth it over. It's fine, have it your way. But what does happen is circles end up accommodating too much, and then they feel resentful later because they sacrifice and they give and take care of other people's needs, hoping that other people will be circles as well. But 75% of the world is not a circle. So, this is what happened. When I got married, I made this classic mistake, which I do I'm a circle. So I got married into Shashank's family. I come from a Gujarati family. Shashank's family is Marwadi. And, so we kind of, imagine a combination, Marwadi and Gujarati together. Quite a killer one there. So I went to Shashank's family, and very naturally I became the circle and, kind of taking everybody together. So Shashank's father is a box, mother is a squiggle, he's a triangle, I'm a circle. So you can imagine what happens on daily basis. So I did all of that, and one of the days in the evening, I said, I was going through this thing where I've given too much and I'm managing a career and home, and I'm sitting there and, I was like weeping and said, Shash, I can't do this anymore. And, I'm trying to do too much. And Shashank, now we have he doesn't get emotions, very quickly. So I have to tell him, can you be a circle? So Shashank is like, really trying to listen to me when in his mind he wants to fix it. And be a triangle. So he's trying to listen to me, and then after a while he tells me, but who asked you to do it? I was shocked. I'm like, don't naturally people do that? He says, no, but who asked you to do things that you're not okay with? This is typically a triangle. Because a triangle is not going to do something that doesn't work for them. For them, self is more important than other people. Goal is more important than other people. Circles are empathetic, fantastic listeners. They will always be there for you. Circles have big problems disciplining. So as parents, they give a lot. They are those nurturing parents, but over-pampering. In office, performance appraisal, they can't sleep for 2 nights before. Thinking that I'm going to hurt someone, the person is going to feel bad. So all their feedback is very indirect and always focused on what other people are going to feel. But trust me, people take them for granted because they have trouble disciplining. They also feel a lot of guilt, self-criticism, probably I did it wrong, I should have done it differently. But the most friendly of all the shapes. How many people in this room are you a circle yourself? Nice. Come give me a hug later. Okay? I know, I feel you. But what would the world be without circles? How many triangles in this room? Raise your hand, triangles. How many triangles do you have a circle in your life? You do, right? All these bloody triangles attract circles. And then abuse them. So we'll talk about that a little later. But it's a beautiful, look at the way things happen. I'm going to quickly come to the squiggle. A lot of you are it. I'm going to tell you this. Squiggles are beautiful because they are completely different from a box. So while a box says everything is in a structure, a squiggle says, why structure? We can have everything free-flowing. So squiggle's mind works in the form of ideas and imagination. A squiggle has an idea every 2 minutes. So they are going to tell you, I have an idea. But squiggles have no capacity to follow through their ideas because they get bored. So they are not into details. They get very bored. They start a lot of things and then they don't finish it. They have multiple careers. They are interested in many, many things, but they have trouble finishing it. For a squiggle, it's like life is out there to experience. I need to do everything and I don't have enough time. Interested in the world of ideas. They are futuristic. Squiggles are possibility thinkers. Understand boxes are all about the past, reality, past data. Squiggles are about what can be, screw the past. Let's talk about what can be possible in the future. Focus, while a box will focus on the micro, a squiggle will focus on the macro, the bigger picture. They are expressive, excited. So when a squiggle is happy, you know it. When they are angry, you know it. When they are low, you know it. Because it's all on their face. They are spontaneous, impulsive. They will act first, think later. They are adventurous. They like new things, stimulation, variety. 9-to-5 job kills a squiggle. They want flexibility. They want new things. They want change. They want to be challenged all the time. They dislike rules unless the ones made by them, and that will also change. So squiggle children are extremely rebellious. They don't do well at work, in school, because school is a very box system. They want a very different way. They want to imagine and experience. So that's why IB schools also take care of the needs of a squiggle and that they learn differently. They are creative. They are mind things out of the box. So how many squiggles in this room? You are a squiggle. Yeah. And you know what's interesting? The new generation has lots of squiggles now. That's coming up. How many of you know of a squiggle in your life? Wonderful. You know, they are the ones who bring a lot of joy, but no structure. Don't depend on them for anything, but they are the ones who will bring joy and adventure. The last one that I'm going to talk about is the rectangle. Rectangle. Now listen to this very, very carefully. Everybody who told you that internal change and transition is vulnerable and weak and you need to get over has not understood psychology. Because it's through internal churning that new beginnings happen. And rectangle is that shape. Rectangle is not a core shape, it's a phase. Rectangle is when there is a lot of transition happening inside of you. When you are at a certain place, but I'm not happy here, there is something that needs to change, but where I need to go is not clear, and everything seems chaotic, and I'm confused, and I'm looking for answers, and I'm seeking, and there is this churning and anxiety and change happening every day is a state of rectangle. Marriage, a new job, a separation, a baby, a new place, anything in our life can put us into a rectangle phase. And the rectangle phase can last from 10 days to 10 months to probably 3 years or 10 years as well. It's characterized by a lot of confusion inside. And in that confusion, you end up experiencing a lot of unpredictability of moods, of behavior, lots of ups and downs, because a rectangle is one day a triangle and the second day a box and the third day a squiggle, and it's changing all the time. They are asking a lot of questions, but why? What's happening? What needs to be done? A rectangle needs a good mentor, and that changes everything for a rectangle. They are searching, learning, and growing. Rectangle is the segue to change. It's the segue to something new. It's the time when I say, I don't know, I can't figure this out, it doesn't make any sense to me. Also, rectangles are suggestible and impressionable, which means they get influenced by other people very easily. Everybody who has a teenage child is in a rectangle phase. Not a child anymore, not an adult. So going through all of this inner turmoil, and that's when they get influenced by other people and so-called role models. Lot of stress and internal conflict, a state of transition, but also a beautiful space. How many of you know of a rectangle in your life? Raise your hand. Yeah, great. Be there for them. They can try your patience terribly. But once they are out of this phase, remember, they will remember you. Rectangle, fame, fortune, what am I? You have a writing pad in front of you. Quickly do this exercise. Come on. There are 5 shapes. Box is predictability. Triangle is power. Transition is a rectangle. Love and fun. I want you to now write down what's the order of your shape from most dominant to least. So I am dominant a circle. My second is a box because I do have a lot of things where I will plan for the future, plan A, plan B, want things predictable in my life, familiar, routine, all of that matters a lot. Third is a triangle. This was much lesser, but it's grown with living with this man. Yeah, so that's triangle. Rectangle, yes, that's also there. It comes up. My least is a squiggle. Give me your order on your writing pad because there's something you need to know. Once you're done, just raise your hand so I know you're done. See how amazing. Yes. So what we are going to do is this. We've got out these lovely stickers. I'm going to tell you what to do a little later. Now tell me how many squares in the room, boxes. Come on, you need to be proud. Put your hand up, boxes. Okay. How many triangles? How many circles? This room is a lover. How many squiggles? Okay, so we have a lot of squiggle circles. Rectangles? Great. And this phase too shall pass. Here's what I need you to know. The most basic of all human needs is the need to be understood and to understand. And how can we do that without recognizing that the world is filled with different people? Chances are, what do you think is the exact opposite shape of a box? How many of you say squiggle? Absolutely right. Because while a box is organized, a squiggle is disorganized. Box wants the familiar, squiggle wants the new. What do you think is exact opposite of a triangle? Circle. And you will have your rectangle sitting in between. So we want you to know that opposites will have the largest chance of conflict because they are totally different, but opposites also have the largest chance of being drawn to each other. So you're going to be married or working together or any of that. That's the cosmic joke. Yeah. So because I will draw the opposite and then I struggle to try and deal with them. So remember, shape conflicts. Opposites, highest chance of being in conflict. Also, look at your shapes, the list. Chances are, listen to this very carefully. Chances are that you are most triggered by those people who have your least as their maximum, as their dominant. How many of you agree with that? Chances are that you get triggered by those people who have your least shape as their dominant. And that's when you're like, what the hell is happening? And this is how we end up getting triggered. This is a very quick way. I'm going to do a quick test and then we'll stop. Tell me what shape is he? But of course, yeah, the way he dressed. Now you'll be able to see everything in shapes, yeah? Next question. What an intelligent bunch of people. Why box? Perfection, everything. One project at a time for like 3 years. Very, very box. That's become his identity. Circle. Yeah, softness and mental health and compassion. And see the expression. The face of a circle will only give it. The ready smile, the connection. Last one. Absolutely. Yeah, world is my canvas and I'm not going to stop. I don't need to be like anyone else. Achievement orientation. See, you got it all. Yeah, and you're rocking it. So here's what we want you to do. At every corner, where all, Shashank? All on the table, you have the stickers. So what you need to do is, whatever is your dominant shape, pull out that sticker and either stick it on your hand or anywhere, on your clothes or on your tag. Come on, quickly do it. You're dominant. You can also put your top 2. I'm fine with that. Yeah, whatever your top 2. Quickly. We have only 6 minutes to do this. So let's do this quickly. Once you're done, you need to stand up. Wherever you are, just stand up when you're done. Put it on your hand, I would want you to put it someplace where it can be for the rest of the day. So you not only see each other's name, but you also see each other's dominant shape. What fun. You can talk about it all day. Are you ready? Come on, stand if you're ready. If you're ready, let's have you stand. All right. Now what you need to do is get up. Let's have you move. Yeah, too much sitting in the morning. Now what you need to do is, listen to me carefully. I'm going to give you a box instruction. So listen up. All squiggles listen, okay? Because you will be the ones say, oh, what did she say? Yeah. So what you need to do is find 5 other people who are of the same dominant shape as you and should not be somebody whom you know. Yeah, so another table. Come on, go quickly and form a huddle. 5 people who's of the same shape as you. Move, come on, move. All right, you only have 30 seconds. Come on, find your shape. What shape are you? What shape am I? Yeah, come on, go. Fine. What shape are you? Even if it's a pear, it's fine. Yeah? Okay, listen up now. Yeah? Where are the circle huddles? Can you raise? Look at that. Yeah, loving circle huddles. Where are the triangle huddles? Good job. Where are the squiggle huddles? They probably don't have a huddle. They are all over the place, yeah, talking to people. Where are the rectangle huddle? Wonderful. Find another rectangle. It's a great place to be in. You know, before we close, what you need to do is very important. Turn around in the huddle and look at each other. And remember, you understand each other naturally because you share a shape. Listen to the question. You need to tell very quickly in 1 or 2 words what's the best part of being you, of the circle. That's all. You just have a minute to do this. Come on, turn around. What's the best part of being my shape? What's the best part of being my shape? And once you're done comes the most important question. Listen to this. Remember, while your dominant shape has been wonderful so far, see, the squiggles will keep talking. Huh? While this shape has been wonderful so far, but it can also be a limitation when you overuse it. So you're going to tell people, how is this shape? What's the worst part of being this shape? Get on. What's the worst part of being this shape? All right. Yeah. Are you done? Guys? Yeah? But remember, this is the beautiful diversity of the world that we live in. When we understand people, we no longer judge them. We just figure a way to deal with these different people in our lives. So if today you walk out of the room with nothing but this one idea, that the world is meant to be filled with people who are different from me, and I accept and respect that and figure out a way to deal with people who are different and not judge them, our job is done. Yeah? On your table, you have something interesting. Shashank will show you. It's this small card, which of course has the social media handles. Just to let you know, I don't understand Twitter. I'm just starting. Amit is helping, but LinkedIn, and you'll get a lot of stuff that I do. But it has a QR code. Listen, squiggles. Yeah, this has a QR code, and the QR code takes you to a quick free quiz of what shape are you. So later on, you can take that quiz, you can share it with your teams and find out what their shape is. And my one thing is today, talk about shapes, even when you're on a break. Yeah, what shape are you? What shape am I? And with that, my time is up with 30 seconds to go. Yeah. Thank you so much. I didn't ask you if you have a question, but I'm going to be around for a while. Maybe one question, and then I will answer it. Sorry. Yes. So just one last thing for you. Yeah. Always remember we have all 5 shapes within us. So you can use all of them and also have your one dominant shape, that's your essence. So you're not schizophrenic, you are adaptable, which is wonderful. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah.